This is happening right now as French ambassador refuses to get the hell out of Niger Republic in peace. Reportedly, the Nigerian authorities actually cut power and water to the French embassy in Niamey, and insisted nothing will be supplied to that embassy by any means, as they weigh their options on how to forcefully extract and remove the recalcitrant French ambassador, who was ordered to leave the country and he refused to leave. I don't know about you, but this is pure madness. Like I have said from the beginning, the scales have fallen off our eyes, and the shackles have since broken loose from our ankles. As you can see from the people, the diabolic colonial slavery era in Africa has expired and won't be renewed. Enough is enough. It's freedom now or never. I am super proud of my Nigerian people. Africa stands with you in solidarity. God bless Nigerian people.
The country has expired. That's as a massive rally took place in the capital Niamey, where top military officials addressed the nation.
On behalf of the head of state, General Chiani, we are here to address you and say that you must remain mobilized. The battle has only just begun. Victory belongs to the people, and it's the Nigerians who will decide this country's future.
Protesting locals waving flags of Niger, Burkina Faso, even North Korea, and condemning the former colonial power of France for the historic grip it had on the country. Meanwhile, local media reports claim the coup governments cut power and water to the French embassy, and apparently if the diplomats still refuse to leave, they will be evicted by force.
The people are the sole masters of their destiny. We're going to cut off the water and electricity to the French embassy. Nobody's going to supply them with anything. Nobody's going to sell them anything. If it's a war posture they want, then we are going to go to war.
Today it is with dismay that we see the French embassy refuses to fulfill a notification from a sovereign country. We are simply dismayed. In my humble opinion, I do not think that force can have its interests here. Those people entrenched in their positions through all the devious plots they are making left and right are against Niger and its people.
First of all, French citizens are not Nigerians. A Nigerian cannot call himself French. I don't see the point for the French ambassador or for France to insist on staying in our country. We understand that France's survival is at stake, but since we don't want them, they have to leave. We can't impose ourselves onto their country, so they won't be able to do so either. The days of slavery are over.
On the other news, as at the time of making this report, we are getting information that the EU is set to launch a new mission in West Africa in the fall. A German newspaper has reported. The combined military-civilian operation will aim to prevent instability triggered by jihadi groups. European Union member states have agreed to begin a mission in the Gulf of Guinea in West Africa, with police and soldiers deployed to Ghana, Togo, Benin, and Ivory Coast. German newspaper Die Welt am Sonntag reported on Sunday, citing diplomats. According to the paper, the mission will aim to train and advise local security forces, help prepare for anti-terror operations, give technical support and implement confidence-building measures in the security sector. The mission is to be launched after formal approval is given by EU foreign ministers at a meeting in October in Luxembourg. The reason behind the planned mission is the EU's concern that Islamist groups could extend their activities in West Africa from the Sahel zone toward the southern coastal countries on the Gulf of Guinea, leading to even more widespread instability in the region, Welt am Sonntag reported. Militant activity from extremist groups linked to Islamic State and Al-Qaeda have rocked countries such as Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso in recent years. The EU also wants to counter Russian influence in the region, which has been spread through Wagner mercenaries who have supported military regimes in the Sahel. The situation was further complicated for the EU after Mali kicked out French and German forces that had been training Malian soldiers and police. The republics of Benin and Ghana had already officially invited the EU to deploy the mission on their territories, according to the paper. The report comes as several countries in the region have fallen under military governments following coups, the latest being on July 26 in Niger. Military juntas have also taken power in Mali and Burkina Faso. The fall of Niger to junta control has been especially concerning as it had been a key ally to Western powers operating throughout the region. Let's break it down a little bit. So, what the European Union is saying is that they are deploying police and soldiers on African soil, after formal approval is given by EU foreign ministers. They are also saying that Benin Republic and Ghana had already officially invited the EU to deploy the mission on their territories. Wait a minute, what the hell is going on here? Okay, if you have followed my reporting long enough, you must have heard me say it over and over again. that Africa is the new Ukraine for the West. One of the first reports I published over the Niger crisis detailed what you are now reading in this exclusive report. I made it clear that this is all about the battle between Russia and the West, and the fact that Russia has chosen to throw its weight behind Africans in their quest to break loose from colonial enslavement. The battlefield has shifted, and if you ever doubted that, there you have it. What is so baffling about this is the effrontery to send police and soldiers to our continent, when we are not living in slavery era. This is enough to help you see what an incredibly historic time we are living in right now as Africans. It's a generational turning point. The West is losing big. Everywhere you turn, they're losing. Even their own World Bank just reported that Russia's GDP has surpassed that of Europe amidst sanctions. And now they're also losing Africa, which has been their sole provider. It's fight to finish, and God will not forgive anyone on the continent who makes it easy for colonizers to continue to entrench themselves on the continent of Africa. Africans, let's wake up en masse and be vigilant. This has got to stop. If we were treated so well, there would be no Russian Wagner on the continent of Africa. To beat Africans for generations and tell them not to cry is the height of maniacal arrogance. My confidence is that this is our time, and no force on earth can defeat an idea whose time has come. Africans will resist this with everything in them. Viva Africa, God bless Africa, God bless Biafra, and God bless Russia.